Okay, this is a brief tutorial on how to use Episerver to make changes to Moody Bible Institute's website. This is going to be just a brief, we're going to start out everything with some intro material, how to get around. I think I want to cover just navigation right now. And so to begin, I think I want to just mention a few things. First of all, Moody does have some experts that are very skilled in how to get around, how to make changes, how to make even sort of the technical background things work. By contacting the web team, you can get access to some of those resources and that expertise. Webteam@moody.edu, webteam@moody.edu is their email address. So you can contact them if you ever feel like you're in over your head or something's too complex or you just have something that you have a question about in Episerver. Wherever this video is going to be housed, I'll make sure to have a link that will be the entryway, the gate, so to speak, URL to get into. I think it's just www.moody.edu/episerver. And I think that is in here. This is probably where the videos are going to end up being. Let me just find that link so we can see it in the video. Right here. So http://www.moody.edu/episerver. So pretty simple. And I'll make sure that this training document is available wherever this video is. When you type that in, this is what will happen. Typically, it will actually make you log in. Episerver should take the same credentials as the Office 365 does. So you should be able to use your basic regular MBI login to get in here. This is the interface that you will first see. Kind of annoying, doesn't have a lot. You can obviously see up here, there's a few things to click. You'll want to go up here and click on this checkerboard. And the first thing you'll want to do is you'll actually just want to go to CMS. That stands for the Content Management System. Episerver also has Canto, which I think is a file library. I wouldn't worry about that. There's another way to fool around in there. But as far as making just regular updates and changes to a particular page, this is where you want to go to the CMS, and then you'll get some more things that you can see and make changes to those. Before you make a change, obviously you got to know where you're going, and so what you'll want to do, I always like to have the page open when I am making edits so that I can see what's going on. There are two main areas of the MBI website that you can make edits to. One is the sort of larger public-facing part of the site, www.moody.edu. Those are going to be just all your regular Moody pages. Generally speaking, we do not have access to make changes to these public-facing areas. We can make edits. When you make that edit, I'll show you what it looks like. When you make that edit, a little thing will pop up and it'll say ready for publishing. And when you go in there, all you can do is click ready to publish. That queues the page up to be published by the web team. They always screen some of those larger changes made to the public website. So just so you know, you're not going to have immediate access to publish things there. There, I think, are some tiny exceptions to that. But for the most part, anytime you're navigating on the moody.edu URL, those changes are not going to be immediately available to the public. And so what you will want to do, I'm trying to find our commencement page here. The second type of page is it's considered a portal page. It can be confusing because by portal page, many people think that that is not publicly available. It is in fact publicly available. It's just that you can't find it here. If I were to search even on the Moody website for things on our portal pages, they would not show up. They're excluded from search results. So what that generally means is that these pages are link only. So I know the URL and I know these pages quite well, so I can just navigate here pretty easily, academic-records.moody.edu. If you search for this on the public website, it's likely that you will not find those things. You're going to have to actually go in and type the URL, or more likely and more helpfully, what we do is we just distribute links to the relevant areas of the portal page in emails and in different ways that we, different information pages. We'll distribute the information to students that way. That way they're directed right to the specific page we want them to be on. For commencement, we sent that out in an email. And so they were directed right to this page. Anyway, back to the Epi navigation. So those are the two kinds of pages you can make edits to. Again, for the first, being the more publicly available, those pages don't get published right away. You click publish, but then it says what'll happen is one of the people on the web team is going to do a final review. You may need, and I would recommend, notifying them that you have made changes to those pages. I don't think they get notified that changes are ready to be published. You may need to actually reach out and say, hey, I made some changes, please publish them. And they'll go through their process of reviewing those changes and publishing them. However, on the second type of page, those get published right away. So that is a rundown of the basic kinds of areas that we have, the public and the more quote-unquote private, although again, the portal pages are not that private because anybody can really get there as long as they have the link to it. It's not actually behind an authentication wall, although that functionality does also exist. And if I remember, I'll run through some of that later. Our FERPA training pages are behind an authentication wall for staff. So as you probably just saw me click, I just want to run through one last thing, and that's the navigation. So if you want to ever get to a page to make edits, you can do so by clicking this little tree looking thing here. And you can see you've got a basic link tree. You can see all the pages on the public website. I've got that kind of open there. We've got other pages, the ITS portal, facilities portal, all these portal pages, like I said, those are considered to be the more private kinds of pages. We have our own portal page here. I'm going to double click on it to get there. And I am there, so yeah, I'm just going to click on this. I'll go over some more of this page functionality later. But, oh, I'm not really on a page. Okay, there we go. So now I'm on the home page. I've got the on-page editing thing selected, and so you can kind of see everything that's here, and that obviously corresponds directly to the information on our home page. So that's how to navigate. The portal is pretty easy to navigate. Everything is structured basically like you can see here. The advising, FAQ, all that stuff, it's exactly how it appears here. If you open up homepage, advising, catalogs, FAQ, so on and so forth. So that's pretty simple. Once you're here to actually find the page to which you need to make some edits, the public EDU website is a little trickier. Again, this is just about navigation. I'll cover edits in a later video, but there are three main areas on the public website that you may need to make edits to. One is commencement. The other, well, I guess there's more than a few. There's the commencement pages, there's the catalogs pages, there are there's the consumer information and enrollment statistics pages. And Academic Records actually also has a public-facing site where I think we have contact information, a link to transcript requests. And so those are not like super intuitive to find. I think you might think Education Home Academics, but I don't think much is there. The catalogs are here and the academic calendar is here, so that's helpful. There's a page on articulation agreements. We just added that. But if you wanted to find commencement, let's say, it is actually not in the academics area. The commencement site is standalone. It's right here. Again, I've opened up the Education Home. Commencement is down here. Catalogs are in the academics area, along with the articulation agreements and the calendar. Let's see, and then the consumer information page, that's something we update right after fall census. in the fall semester. So sometime right around, we actually just edited it. It's October now, so we just made some of those edits to our consumer info pages. That is in the About area. You would click on About, Consumer Information, Enrollment, and Graduation Statistics. So that's where that page is. And then if you ever wanted to make edits to our sort of staff page that shows, I believe, yeah, here it is, under Student Services, Education Home, down here, Student Services, I've opened that up, and Academic Records and Registrar is here. So that's basic navigation. I went through the latter part, public-facing site in a little more detail because it can be complicated to find. And the portal page is pretty simple. It's all structured right after the portal. So that is it for just basic navigation, and I'll be covering a few other things in future videos on how to actually make edits and editing those epiforms.